Hi, I'm Stephen Comer. In regards to the U.S. government should use expansionary policies, fiscal, monetary, or a combination of the two to fight recessions, I must disagree. These policies show short-term bursts which at first help the economy but have a negative long-term effect. We see this as the Bayesian economics. We have a positive, seen effect, but then we have the unseen effect, which turns out to be negative. First off, monetary policies. Some monetary policies can lead to inflation, in which aggregate demand curve does not really shift either way. There is no growth. It can also lead to price bubbles bursting, which in turn decreases the aggregate demand and shifts the curve inward. One way the Federal Reserve tries to increase aggregate demand is by issuing more money. While this may increase spending at first, it can cause inflation. An increase in inflation means the wages rise, but so do prices. The value of currency falls, and spending can decrease or stay the same. Some major problems with inflation are the fall in the value of savings, menu costs, and uncertainty. When savings become less valuable or worthless, there is less of an incentive to save. And as Roger Garrison said in his lecture on Austrian economics, people save to spend. So the long-term effect is taking large amounts of money out of the economy. Menu costs cause higher prices, and that means the transactions become more difficult. And then there's an uncertainty or confusion about investing. And in doing so, there is money that should be going into the economy that's not because of inflation. A decrease in interest is also thought to help increase the aggregate demand. However, history shows us that this can cause price bubbles and then cause price bubbles to burst. As seen in Modern Principles, Macroeconomics, when the Federal Reserve decreased interest rates to 1% in order to increase the housing market, there were poor investments made. Cohn and Tabrock stated, the problem for the economy, of course, came when the price of real estate started to fall in 2006. Homeowners felt poorer and started to spend less, reducing aggregate demand. Right there we see that because of the initial burst, the long-term burst was a reduced aggregate demand. Even with Federal Reserve lowering interest, the long-term may hurt aggregate demand. There are positive immediate effects, but negative long-term effects. There are also fiscal policies, and these could work, but if they're done so in the right way. The government can lower taxes to give the economy a short-term burst and increase aggregate demand. However, in doing so, we see the same effect of a long-term negative decrease. Government can also increase its spending to help increase aggregate demand, which can help if it doesn't crowd out private spending, but also if the government has to borrow money to increase spending, then they have to pay back that loan somehow. This is usually done by increasing taxes. If expansionary fiscal policy is paid for by borrowing, taxes will rise in the future. When taxes rise, people will have less money to spend, and aggregate demand will fall. According to Tavon R. Pettinger, a combination of these two policies can also hurt growth, fiscal and monetary. If the government sells bonds to borrow money, the buyers are set as long as inflation doesn't increase. However, an increase in inflation will cause the bonds to lose their value, and in turn, holders' spending to decrease. If this happens too often, then the buyers will stop having faith in the government, stop buying bonds from the government, and reduce the amount the government can borrow. All of these are short-term solutions. They may increase a boost in economic growth at the start, but they will have negative long-term effects, such as the real estate crash in 2006. So I think that the government should not use expansionary policies, fiscal, monetary, or a combination of the two, to fight recession.